Hey guys, it's Aisha. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be zombie book recommendations. There aren't a lot of books in this video to show because zombie books, especially good zombie books, are hard to come by because a lot of zombie books are cliche and they start the same way, and that rhymes and it wasn't really intentional, but yeah. So these are going to be my top 4 zombie books that I have to recommend. It's going to go in order from the 4th book down to the 1st book, so let us get started. So the 4th book that I have to show is Dustin Became by Jonathan Mayberry. This book is so good. It is the 2nd book in the Rotten Ruin series, and I actually started this book before I knew it was the 2nd book in the series, and once I found out that this was the 2nd book, I really didn't care because I was too into it, so I actually finished the book, and I plan on reading the 1st book really soon, so hopefully I get to it. So the 1st book of this series doesn't really start off where the zombie apocalypse hasn't started yet, so you don't really get a taste of how these zombies came to be or anything, but the 1st book actually starts off with a gated community and everything, and it's just during the zombie apocalypse and everything, and I don't really know much about the 1st book, but I know this book is after the main character, Benny, that's his name. So Benny, actually, him and his brother has trained for fighting the undead, and then they actually want a whole better life outside of the gated community that they live in, so they set out to find a new life with this girl and Benny's best friend, I think. And yeah, and then right when they leave, they get swarmed by zombies and killers and wild animals and everything. But there's also a man called Charlie Pinkeye, and he is the maker of this thing called Gameland, and the Gameland is where they put teenagers into a pit, and the teenagers have to fight off the zombies with just their bare hands, and a lot of people go to watch those fights and everything, and it's really ruthless and brutal, and yeah, and I just really absolutely love this book. I really recommend it. So the 3rd book I have to recommend is Feed by Myra Grant. This book takes place during the zombie apocalypse, so you again don't get a taste of how the zombie apocalypse started, but it takes place in the zombie apocalypse, and there is still, the power grid hasn't gone down, so the main character and her brother are actually zombie bloggers, and it is just such a unique book. I haven't thought about a book that has zombie bloggers, so I really love this book, and I really recommend reading it. The 2nd book that I have to recommend for this video is Eat Brains Love by Jeff Hart. This book was so fantastic. I absolutely loved it. It was so unique and everything. So this book doesn't actually start in the zombie apocalypse, and the zombie apocalypse doesn't really start in the whole book. But yeah, so the main character, I don't really remember his name, but he got the zombie disease because it was sexually transmitted, and so did this girl that goes to this school. He's not really popular, but the girl is popular, and all of a sudden they're at lunch during the school day, just a random school day, and all of a sudden they just start attacking people, and they don't really remember. So the zombie virus is just on and off, like it switches on and off like a switch. So yeah, so they don't really remember, so they're trying to run away from it, and all these governmental people are trying to kill them because I guess there are other people like them that has contracted the zombie disease, but they're just trying to kill them off, so a lot of people don't really know what's going on. And yeah, it's super good. It's so good, and there's a 2nd book, there's a sequel, and I really want to read it, but I haven't gotten around to it, so I hope I read it soon. And the last and final book that I have to recommend for this video is Fiend by Peter Stenson. This book doesn't exactly start off with events to lead up to the zombie apocalypse. So the main character and his friend both wake up, and they they are druggies. They did a massive amount of drugs the night before the whole apocalypse started, and so they wake up and they go out to the street to go get food, I think, and everything's gone. The busy streets that they usually live on and walk on aren't busy. Everything's just quiet, and it's really weird to them. And so they realize that the zombies have taken over and everything, and they realize that the only way to stay alive from the zombie virus and to not actually die from the zombie virus is to do drugs. And that is kind of hard for them, especially because problems with finding drugs and doing drugs with the people that they love, it's really hard. So this book was so good, and it deals mainly with teenagers. I don't really know if there's any adults. I haven't read it in a while, but I really think I will reread it soon, because now that I'm talking about it, I'm just like, oh, this book. So yeah, that is the end of my zombie book recommendation video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe and comment down below any zombie books that you want me to read or recommend to anyone else. Thank you for watching. Bye!